It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Cameras, Fuji X100T, and coffee, Acre 1080. So this morning is just a quick rant about the Nikon Zfc. I looked at the internet last night and it came across a bunch of videos about the Nikon Zfc and how they just released it. It is basically a Fuji X-T4 is what it looks like to me, and I haven't really dove deep into the specs, but I'm really curious what you get for that sub $1,000 price point. It does have a flip out screen and it's coming in multicolors, so I'm wondering if it's kind of that entry vlogger camera. It does have the ability to switch between images and video like the X-T4. I'm not sure if it preserves your settings between the two. I'm curious if that's a feature. And I also don't know what lenses are available for it and what range of lenses that pairs with. But really interesting, that they would release a camera that basically looks just like a Fujifilm camera. And maybe Fuji's, biting into their market share, so they wanted to get on board with a mirrorless camera that has all the knobs and dials across the top like their old film cameras. Now, don't get me wrong, I was a huge Nikon fanboy and I love Nikon products. I shot with a Nikon FE2 from 1985 all the way until probably around 2003, 2004, and I switched to a Nikon D70 and then a Nikon D7000 and then a D7100, and then I switched over to Fujifilm and I realized that was a better fit for me. It looked and felt just like my old Nikon FE2, and I've talked about that before. I guess Fuji's doing something right if Nikon is basically copying them. The new Nikon camera does have the flip out screen for vlogging, and I think that's a huge feature, and I think that's why Fuji finally broke down and made that happen as well. The X-T4 for me is doing great. I really like the video files that I'm getting and the clarity compared to my X-T2. I don't know if it was something I was doing wrong with the X-T2 in the settings, but the X-T4 is just easier to work with and video is so much easier. But I'm really curious to see what this new Nikon has to offer. Not that I'm switching, I'm very happy with the gear that I have. I don't know how often you upgrade your gear or what decision process you go through for either switching camera brands or getting new gear. If something's working for me and I'm happy with it, then I'm going to go ahead and keep working with it and use it until either it dies or I need a feature that it doesn't offer because I have to produce something either for a client or something that I want to accomplish on a regular basis that I don't have in a current camera. Otherwise, I'm renting to do something, quickly, without having to purchase all new gear to make that happen for someone. But I'm crazy happy about my, X-T4 and going into this. Obviously, I do buy new gear every once in a while, but I do take a while before that happens. The X-T2 lasted me, I think, a little more than 2 years. If not more than that, and then I'm still shooting with my X-T1 and still with the X100T, and I've had this for years and years, so I love that camera, and I'm going to go ahead and keep shooting with it. So curious what your thoughts are, and when do you upgrade gear, and what process do you put into that? I know there are a lot of thoughts on that. There's the whole gas, gear acquisition syndrome that people talk about, and sometimes I'm guilty of it as well. I want that new shiny thing, and I get excited about stuff and I just get it because I need to get it, and then sometimes I have remorse and I'll either return it or just deal with the fact that I made a mistake and move on. You can sell items if they don't work out for you. But yeah, that's just some of the things that you deal with as a photographer and trying to keep up and make sure that what you're doing is the best quality that you can for the prices that you can afford. So that's my rant for the day. And I hope you have a great day. Until next time, take care.